Sometimes all you can do is watch a movie and say damn and keep scrolling.
Your movie theater has scrolling?
Yeah.
That's why. Is it just like a huge TikTok format? Did you just watch the movie through a TikTok live
Yeah,
stream?
but the whole audience has to get up and physically swipe on the screen.
Everyone has to put a hand on it.
Yeah. So if everyone is disliking it, then they'll just go, okay, next one. But if that one person is invested and they don't want to get up and touch the screen, then you got to keep watching.
Damn.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cosmic Panel. Today we're going to talk about Wolfman, a new Universal Monsters movie that we have both been really excited to watch. I literally just got out of the theater. Lucas watched it a little bit earlier, so I'm still kind of digesting the film. So this is going to kind of be a flow of thoughts for
Digesting it
sure.
just like he digested his arm and leg. Hey.
Jarvis, kill this man.
Spoilers galore if you couldn't tell. As always. Yeah. What are your general thoughts about it?
I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it didn't overstay its welcome,
An hour
which is
45.
huge. It was kind of just one and done. There's a lot of things I liked about this movie. You inspired me to take a couple notes. Uh, but this is just, yeah, really engaging. I don't feel like there was any true filler. I think there was good setup. Um, yeah, there's very few negative things I had to say about this movie, but those are my general thoughts.
Yeah, I think this is a standard that most horror films should thrive for. Um, do I think it's like a once in a generation horror movie? No. But for what the material is that they're working with, they do a phenomenal job. I mean, it's literally like the Wolfman is just that. It's just a Wolfman. Like you don't have that much material to work with in the first place. So like the way they did it was genuinely stellar. Um, I thought the body horror was really well done. And I liked how little you saw the monster for most of the movie until the third act.
Yeah, this has a lot of elements of really the classic Universal Monsters movies. This has emotion behind it, like this has a person behind the monster, which I think we just talked about recently. But that's a trope that I love, having a person behind the monster. Making the monster not necessarily the bad guy. This is a disease that is been riddling this community, and eventually most people are overtaken, by it. But there's no, um, you know, real true monster per se,
Yeah,
in the literal sense. So, or I guess in the metaphorical sense. Um, but yeah, so many great elements. I thought the shots were great. I thought the lighting was excellent. Um, I think the surround sound was excellent. The sound design was really cool.
the,
I don't know
the
if you had that in your
spiders.
theater, but there was shit like happening in the back corner
They
and stuff
definitely
like
didn't do that
that.
with me.
Ah, dude,
I
yeah,
I actually had some moments where I don't know if it was on. I know like they had some moments where like the audio like the dialogue was muffled. Like I know that, but there were some moments where I really wanted to hear the dialogue and I wasn't 100% getting it. That was really
yeah.
my only complaint. But like the spider crawling around, I was like, what the fuck? And then him hearing that
That was amazing.
so cool. That was such a good visualization of like having that intense of a hearing. Like it sounded like gunshots. Like it was like what is happening, and it's just a tarantula crawling.
That was amazing. I audibly like was like, that's so cool. Like I sat up in my seat because I don't think they've ever done anything like that.
No, like
Um,
you never get to see that side of things usually because it's usually like, oh, they have super hearing, cool. It's like usually brushed over. And I like how intense it is for him. Like when he's looking at his family, they look horrific from his point of view. Like genuinely they look like fucking skinwalkers. Like I don't know if you saw, but like their mouths were distorted. Like it just looked so. It looked like their faces were like a mask. Like especially in that, like when they were in the farmhouse, especially that's when it really looked awful. Um, but like you see the blood circulating through their bodies and all this stuff. It just looked really like horrific.
Yeah. No, they do a really excellent job of conveying, his perspective, and we kind of, switch perspectives a lot by the end of the movie, but to keep getting those like shifts into his perspective were just so cool.
Yeah.
I love how they showed that, just how overwhelming the senses were, and the lighting in those moments was so cool.
Oh yeah, they made it look like day, and I was like, wait, like at first I was like, oh, we made it to. I was like surprised. I was like, we survived the night, and it switches to her, and I'm like, oh no, that's just how he's seeing it now, because like literally he can see in the dark.
Yeah. So I want to go through some of my notes if that's cool.
Yeah.
My first note is UPS sponsorship question mark.
Oh yes,
The declaration of
death.
his father's death is in a UPS package, and then the next scene they open up on a shot with the UPS truck in the street. I was
That's
like,
funny. I
oh,
didn't
they got
even
that
notice that
UPS
one.
sponsorship. Yeah,
That's funny.
I thought it's funny. I said good shots. Um, Mostly good acting. I would say there were like a couple lines of dialogue I didn't love.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm not gonna lie. The whole mind reading thing was a little. I get it. I get it. It's supposed to like. It just felt like
Yeah, it's
it
one of
needed. It
those
needed a little bit.
intentional anchors, to make you feel upset, like to
Yeah,
put emotion behind the character.
but I needed. I needed. It didn't really do that. It was just really awkward. Like that was the way that was written. So like it didn't. It didn't land as like near the end. If she when she put his hand, yeah, like because she didn't say she didn't say the line. I'm thinking my I love my like there's a better way to write that line. I feel like it's like
Yeah,
I love my
definitely.
daughter. Literally, just saying that would have been like enough to be like, yeah, there you go. Like I simplify it down a little bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think that they could have. If the movie was longer, that final moment when she touches his head would be a little more impactful.
that's fair.
Like it's just for me how much time it has to sit, and so it's less of a. It's more of a callback basically when it has longer to sit. This
Yeah,
just felt like, oh, we just did this. Like if they just did it once at the beginning of the movie and then that last time, I would have been enough.
yeah.
But yeah, just couple weaker lines of dialogue, but mostly good performances. I think.
I really like the body performance, like the visual, physical aspect of like the transformation, like the physical side of stuff. Like the actor really did a good job with that, conveying like the like horror of like losing nails and then like running on all fours and everything. It was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job. Um, you know, uh, Obviously, I guess like halfway through the movie, he loses his speaking abilities, so you kind of have to perform a
Emote.
lot more with your eyes and emoting and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this is the most kind of realistic werewolf transformation we're gonna get, and that to me is the weakest part of the original, Wolfman appearances in Universal movies
Yeah, it's always
is
off
the
screen.
transformation. Um, well, no, they do like just poor time lapses where it's like just a little bit of fur
Oh
and then a
yeah,
more. So there's not a lot of good instances of that, but you kind of look past it. But this was focused on basically purely that and getting that right. So that was really refreshing,
the teeth,
and the
bro.
practical effects. That's kind of where they put their money, and I thought that was really great.
Yeah, no, yeah, the practical effects were really cool. I
Just
love,
the slow little stuff that
yeah,
builds and builds on his
his
face.
ears like melding almost into his head a little bit. Him losing all the fur, like all the not fur, the hair on his like on his head, and growing more fur on his body. The nails were wild. Um,
Yeah, the teeth.
Yeah, the teeth were. And I was gonna levy a complaint on the film where it was like when he first got like hit by the. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what I was thinking when the car happened, the car thing happened. I was like, the arm came by and it swung and it broke the glass. And at first I was like, there's no shot that would have infected him. Like literally, I was like, there's no fucking way. But then they literally solved that problem by being like, literally, he gets grabbed and bitten, and it's like, okay, there you go. And I like that it's like some symptoms just from that small interaction, and then this like exacerbate, like it's almost like a genuine infection where it's like he got exposed more, and because of that, therefore he gets a quicker transformation than probably would have been before. Like he probably would have survived the night if he hadn't gotten grabbed.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess yeah, that was a little strange that it was so quick that I guess we didn't see him get actually scratched.
It didn't look
Like
like he got scratched.
when
It
he
just
went to close the passenger side door, I thought he was going to get scratched in that moment. They made the shot really look like that was going to happen.
yeah,
But it was so fast that I didn't really notice if he got scratched or not in that moment.
it
But
was just glass. It was just because the creature, what from what it looked like, it looked more like a piece of glass that like cut the creature went into him more
yeah,
than like the creature scratching him. If that makes sense.
yeah. But apparently it got him fast enough there.
Yeah, I like that it was his father. That was a nice. I kind of called it from the get go. I mean, it's like one of those like makes sense. Like storyline wise, it makes sense. But I really did like that, and then I like the ending being a callback to the beginning.
Yeah, no, there's a big thing in this movie is cycles. So the son becoming the father, both as a human and as the man wolf. Um, you know, definite callbacks to the Deer Blind. Um, there's a lot of cyclical themes in this. Um, like the phases of the moon, if you will. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool subtext that you only get when you delve into the human side of a monster story. This isn't just like a survival movie. There is more going on, that I think there can be analyzed. Um, yeah, I only call the dad uh, thing like when the wife was swinging at him. I think
mm,
I was like, "That's not his dad, is it?
I immediately called it when
That'd be weird."
it was
But
like his dad was dead. I was like, oh yeah, no, his dad's a werewolf.
yeah,
But yeah, when the father was like quote unquote announced dead, I was like, oh well, he don't have a body, and I was like, oh well.
I
At least
thought
for me,
maybe
that was
he
what.
just got killed by the wolf man.
But then again, I'm Mister Guesser Man.
Oh boy, don't pat yourself on the back too hard. You might hurt yourself.
Uh,
The only thing I called was the dog door,
oh yeah,
because as soon as they entered the house, I was like, "Wait, there was a dog at the beginning. He's probably got a
I
dog
completely
door."
forgot about it to be
But I was
honest.
like, he must have secured that because he's like, hyper vigilant or whatever. But I was like, yeah, no, he's gonna get attacked through the dog door, and I thought that was what was gonna initially infect him, because they hadn't showed the arm yet at that point when he first enters the house.
Yeah.
So I thought that was gonna be like the thing when he was like checking the back door. I was like, he's gonna get grabbed from the dog door.
Oh, bro, I tweaked
But
out when
they
he.
never showed the dog again. So I was like, yeah, this is they're trying to keep it minor enough that we wouldn't think of it.
Bro, I was tweaking out when they showed the wound a second time and he just started biting his arm. I was like, "Oh, bro, no, no!"
Yeah,
That got me. That like genuinely got me. I was like, "Oh, fuck that!"
yeah,
I was literally like the wife, like, "Holy fuck!" Like that escalated so fast. I was worried for a second. I'm not gonna lie. I was worried for a second that they were going to last frame show the daughter's infected or some shit. Like I got worried. I thought they were gonna be like, and the daughter, and like show like a single scratch on the daughter or something as she goes back to New York or whatever. Um, I'm glad they didn't do that. That would have been a cool setup for like a sequel, to be fair. But I'm glad they didn't do that because it does make the story complete which is nice. I like having a complete story that doesn't end on a cliffhanger or sets up like an after credit scene or something like
Yep.
it's
Yep.
it's a full story. They see the valley, which he talked about in the beginning, and then it ends, and it's like there you go. I like having an ending. I enjoy having endings. They're really nice when they happen.
Yeah. It's funny how it's so rare these days, but to get that, um, and for Universal to get the message that we don't need a connected universe, basically, is surprising.
This was the director of Invisible Man. I still don't think this was as strong as Invisible Man, to be honest. Invisible Man was just, in my opinion, Invisible Man is like such a great film. Um, that like I feel like few films would like compete with that horror wise, to be honest. But that's also because like that character you can do so much more with, I feel like, than a Wolfman. Like the great thing about Invisible Man is the shot compositions are nuts because you don't know if he's in the shot. I don't know if you've watched Invisible Man or not. There's like whole like scenes where you'll just it's a oneer, like a 5 minute oneer, and you'll see like a chair move slightly, and the main character will like leave the room, and you'll see something like pick up, float, and then drop, and then the main character will come back and be like, "What? Like I didn't move that." And it's like, oh my god, the entire time.
There are moments of emotion that I can only imagine are from moments of aggression. I mean, that I can imagine are only from the overwhelming transformation and the heightened senses and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, generally speaking, he has a lot of moments of supposed clarity. Just trying to help them out,
Going
help
into
them
the car.
survive. Yeah, like stuff like that. So, um, yeah, it's very interesting how you know her response is she's scared, and reasonably so. She just saw you know someone who resembled her husband try to break in and kill them. So yeah, it's it makes sense that she would be scared.
Boy, is that therapy going to cost a lot. I
No, man,
almost
they
thought the
just got to
daughter was
look at
going
the
to
valley.
yeah, just look at the valley and ignore the dead corpse of your father. I was almost worried that the daughter was going to be annoying and going to blame the mother somehow. I was really worried. I was like, please don't do that because I feel like that would have been like too much. That would have made the kid unlikable in my opinion.
Kid
If she
had to
would,
grow up really fast.
the kid actress was pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
thought she was good.
Oh wait, one last thing I have. I really like the use of stabilizers in this film when experiencing vertigo and stuff like that. When he's like for after the tarantula stuff, like I noticed like all the stabilization and then like the unstabilized camera moving as he's like leaning against the wall and trying to get his balance. Really cool use of that.
Yeah, guys. So basically, there's this.
Me trying to say something nice and gotta.
Yeah, so basically, guys, if you're not familiar with film techniques, there's this thing called. I gotta bust your chops when you go technical. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess you know, I don't if we're counting Invisible Man, the only characters they haven't done are gonna be Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, um, Frankenstein, well, which is coming, and Bride of Frankenstein if they want to do that as well. Um,
Apparently, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, Phantom of the Opera is also Universal. Um, yeah, I mean if they want to, but for me, like it's cool to see just a certain love of it reigniting, in comic book format and in movies, and there hasn't been any overlap yet. So it's cool to let these projects sort of exist on their own, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your rating? So I give this 3 fallen teeth out of 5.
I'm gonna give Wolfman 4 car batteries out of 5. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. We have been the Cosmic Panel. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on Instagram at the Cosmic Panel. We are doing more comic sales on there now, and we have an eBay as well that you can find and support us at. The eBay is the.cosmic.panel. So we got lots of stuff brewing. I got some Werewolf by Night comics behind me. We got lots of horror books that came in recently. So if you're into that sort of thing, hit us up. Thanks again. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of this movie. I think it's worth a watch. I really do. I hope that people go see this. I think this is a really fun horror movie that will hopefully get a new audience into the Universal Monsters universe. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I hate all our fans.